Okay, so we have a bonus episode of Talking About Orcs because there's no battle report this week. I was working late, didn't make it to the league on time. So we're going to talk about the leaked clan rules and what they mean, what they are, and what they mean. So I can pretty much say these are not too overpowered, and they're probably the actual rules we're going to see in the Codex, or at least pretty darn close, in my opinion. So let's start with Bad Moons. Units reroll to hits of 1 in the shooting phase. This is not exactly what I was looking for. I was kind of hoping for more range or more AP, kind of like the other traits that are out there. But this isn't bad. Obviously, this can be going for your shooting units, and tank busters already have rerolls against vehicles, but given these rerolls against non-vehicles, Ludas are the obvious choice here. Because rerolling ones with Ludas, especially with that Daka stratagem, where you can turn your one into a 6 and get even more shots out of them. This could be potentially really good, really good. Or like with mech guns, make all your mech guns and artillery pieces bad moons for this. But you might want to give those something else too. So I don't know. So yeah, bad moons is definitely a very useful clan trait. Blood axes, of course, blood axes are most of my army. Units can fall back and shoot and charge in the same turn, and units always count as being in cover. So they'll always get the +1 to save. So there are a lot of people saying that this fallback and shoot and recharge is broken. And when you're talking about orcs, it's not really true because what you want to be able to do is fall back, shoot something, and then charge again. But orcs really don't do a whole lot of shooting to the point where that's something you want to do. Keeping things locked up in combat is usually a better choice. I guess it really works against something that you don't want to stay in combat with and then charge something else maybe. Um, but this for orcs, if we're talking about Eldar, that would be a different story. Um, because they have a lot of high quality shooting. Orcs don't have as much of that high quality shooting that, guarantees going to wipe out a unit. So being able to fall back and charge again isn't as broken in the orc army as it would be in other armies. So I think this is really another really good clan trait here. Death Skulls units have a 6-up invul save. Units additionally may choose to reroll a single to hit, to wound, or damage die per shooting phase or fight phase. So Death Skulls have 6-up invul save isn't great, of course, but if you can combine it with, say, a Pain Boy or whatever, you can get quite a good save out on your units. Um, so this would be another good one to use for mech guns, maybe. Because you're only going to get a handful of shots on a KMK. So giving these guys a single reroll, and that's per gun, of course, because they're all individual units. Well, they are now. Of course, there's all lots of caveats with this. Um, so yeah, giving KMKs the Death Skulls would be great. Not only do you have that invul save against in that invul save to keep them around, but they would also be able to re-roll a die all by themselves each turn, which is just fantastic. Too bad you can't re-roll the number of shots though. Evil Sons units add 1 inch to all moves, advances, and charges, and they ignore the penalty -1 to hit penalty for firing with assault weapons after advancing. This is a little disappointing. Now, if it was 2 inches, maybe that would be better. But the problem with this is with Evil Sons, it kind of pushes you towards infantry, especially shooter boys. Provided, of course, they can still charge after advancing with the war boss. Because now you're talking a lot of movement, shooting with all your shooters, and still being able to assault freely. That's not what Evil Sons are. Evil Sons are vehicles, and adding 1 or 2 inches to a vehicle movement or advance really isn't that great because they're already pretty fast. So yeah, this is okay, but not very Evil Sonsy. Goths. Units generate an extra attack die on all to hit rolls of 6 in the fight phase. Okay, so this is pretty amazing. The exploding sixes, where especially when you have a lot of attacks, something like a Gorkanaut with his 18 attacks would be would use this very well with the exploding sixes. And of course, obviously, just boys, lots and lots and lots of attacks, and every 6 gets an additional attack. That is very much right on par with what Goth should be. I guess anything it could be more strength or give you some other bonus for having boys over other units. But yeah, having Goths extra attack, especially with the sheer number of attacks that orcs can put out, that's crazy. That is crazy good. Snake bites, units ignore inflicted wounds on 6, so basically have a 6 that feel no pain, which is pretty very much snake bitey. um, yeah, so yeah, that's definitely in par with what would be a the, the savage orcs in fantasy. So yeah, that's very flavorful. May not be that great on the table. I think I'd rather have the 6 up invul save from the Death Skulls. They have to have something else besides that. That can't be just the only thing they have compared to the other ones. And freebooters will get a clan trait, and units become +1 to hit after an allied unit has destroyed an enemy unit. So that's very unclear on how that would work, but we'll have to wait and see some more clarity on how the freebooters thing actually works. So what do I think here? What I think here is you're going to have the a mix of clans in every single army you build. Um, you're going to have, like in a competitive environment, in any sort of match play tournament, you're going to have 3 detachments. And I guarantee you that orcs are going to have 3 detachments every game with 3 different clans. You're going to want your boys to be Goths, maybe. I don't know. These are so good for so many different units. Um, like you want to give your Ludas the Bad Moons. You want to give, I said, Shooter Boys, Evil Sons. Maybe anything that has rockets, like cans with the Evil Sons would be really good. Again, it's not very flavorful, but cans that can run and still shoot their rockets at a 4 plus, um, that's really good. Tank busters can advance, or if the vehicle they're in advances, they'll still be able to shoot without that -1 penalty, which is really good. So if they're in a warcopter or a truck that advances, they won't get the -1 to hit, which is really, with the warcopter especially, that's an amazing amount of threat range. So yeah, Evil Sons tank busters are going to be amazing. Goths, Goth Gorkonauts, that's insane. The extra attacks from a Gorkonaut, yeah, that's and this boy's just so many attacks, so many 6s potentially. So yeah, you're gonna have your with these clan traits, and I think they're pretty sure these are going to be spot on. There might be some, give and takes here. I think there has to be something else with the snake bites besides just a film of pain. Because at least the Decibels have the 6-up invul save and something else too. Because the 6-up invul save is generally better than the 6-up feel no pain because it's on the wound instead of the damage. Again, except against mortal wounds, of course. But yeah. So I said unless snake bites get something else, that's not going to be all that great. But these other ones, as I said, you're just going to have a mix of units every single game. So get ready to paint your models appropriately because you're going to have to make sure and make it absolutely clear which ones are which clan. I mean, because I do have a unit of Bad Moons Rock um, tank busters. Everything else is blood axes though, so I might have to repaint all my Ludas yellow. um, I've still got a bunch of Evil Sun stuff, so yeah. If you are going to mix clans, you got to make sure and for your opponent to clearly see which units are which. So if your whole army's painted the same, it's going to be very hard for you to mix clans in a competitive environment because it's not going to be very clear which ones are which. But in general, I like these. I really do. I think they're strong, and I think there are very much that some units benefit from some clan traits better than others, obviously. And so it's going to be your army's going to be a mix. You can have a tough choice deciding which clans you're going to be using for which units and what kind of armies you're going to build. I think these things do everything they wanted to do. They add a lot of power. They add a lot of flavor, except for the Evil Sons. I don't like the Evil Sons one for infantry. Because as I said, it'll turn it into just an infantry horde, which is not what Evil Sons is. Okay, so that just about covers it for these clan traits. I think we're going to be very happy with these, and I think we're going to have very, very much soup lists in the future with these. You're definitely going to want, just different units with different clan traits. I like KMK's Death Skulls, Luda's Blood Moons, um, Tank Buster's Evil Sons, and of course just boys being goths, boys and Gorkanauts in the goths. So there's going to be a lot of things here for you to choose from. I think it's going to be hard to choose. Going to make some flavorful lists. Going to make some competitive lists, and overall pretty darn happy. So let me know your thoughts below. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching this episode of Talking About Orcs. Please subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications for new Talking About Orcs videos every Wednesday, new battle reports every Friday, and hobby videos whenever I can. Thanks for watching.